So it goes with the little decor.
My boy Dre finally came to the good side. He's a Yankees fan now.
I just
Look
like
at
the
him.
hat.
He's wearing the Yankees hat.
Style. I just like the hat for the style, man. Come on.
Hey, if you wear it, you're a fan.
How many hats do you have, Rob? How many outfits do you have, Rob?
You know, every hat that I own, I'm a casual fan of that team. Absolutely. It may not be my favorite team, but I'm a casual fan of that team.
This guy, he be giving me shit about being, switching back. Man, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, you and your minutes, bro. You be having a whole lot of. Why does he have that?
He's a Texas fan. No, wait a minute. He's a fan of.
Hey, I lived in Austin for a while.
I lived in Bryan College Station.
JQ's got Bengals and Falcons fans gear.
Because I live here.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You got two teams there.
Oh my goodness! So one's in the AFC and one's in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I lived here. I lived in Atlanta now longer than I've lived in Cincinnati. So I mean,
oh man, sorry to hear that.
We're having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing edition of Talking Sports with 12 Man. A little abbreviated version because, life is a little crazy busy, but we could not let another week pass without sharing our thoughts for this week. And again, just wanted to give our thoughts and prayers out to Gary and his family. Hope that he is being safe traveling, whatever he's going through too, as always. So a lot of love. Hopefully we will catch him next week. And if not, again, we are here. This is what we do. We kind of have fun. This is kind of a therapy session, if you will, if needed. If you need to kind of talk on and just give us your what's happening, what's going on, how you feel. This is what we want to accomplish. This is what we want to do. Again, a great show here for this February 19th. I'm actually trying to add another week to this, but the month of February is flying by. Let's check in with the fellas real quickly so we can get this party started. JQ, how you feeling?
I am good, man. I got one more day, and I was waiting on Rob to get here because me and my homeboys are going to New Orleans this weekend, flying out on Friday, coming back on Monday. I'm trying to get us out, depending on how drunk or hungover we are from Friday to Saturday. The Spurs are in town to play the Pelicans, so it'd be a good chance to go try to catch a cheap ticket and go see Wemby play. So looking forward to being off for a few days, man, and going to chill out in Rob's neck of the woods.
Hey, if you need some recommendations, let me know, man. I'll give you some.
Go ahead and send them my way.
Yeah, I'll send them to you. Yeah.
Don't tell me about that debauchery you get into. Like, I just talking about like some food. Like, don't tell me about where all the the strip clubs and all that stuff is. I know how you are.
I'm doing that. I'm a married man.
Shorty swing.
I don't hang out those kind of spots.
You said text me on the phone. I got you.
I can give you the good food spots.
That's what's up.
I can give you the good food spots for sure.
You're gonna say go 3 blocks down.
And the Pelicans tickets, you might be able to get $1 seats, man. They so horrible.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, damn, you just like in the lower bowl for like 105. Rob gonna text me and be like, hey, go to this restaurant, but then if you go down 3 blocks and make 2 lefts, knock on the 5th door and tell him Rob sent you.
There it is.
Yep.
I will give Rob some love. He does have some good restaurant choices, man. We ate good last time we were there, man. I still have memories of that. That's almost been like 15 years ago.
Redfish Grill, one of my favorites, man. Hickory Grill, redfish, barbecue oysters.
Yes.
The double chocolate bread pudding. Oh man, we can go on and on, man. Redfish Grill, one of my favorites. Casual spot. If you go there, you gotta ask for Ike, man. He's a character.
Okay.
He's a comedian.
You got to send it to me. I don't want to take a cold time. I know we get out for 11, but I want to at least wait till you got here so I can tell you that. So yeah, flying out on Friday, coming back on Monday.
Yep. No, I got you.
Good stuff. All right, we got 30 minutes to get to a couple topics here. Again, follow us, you know the drill, on Facebook, which is where we're broadcasting as well, which is our Facebook page, which is Talking Sports with 12 Men. We are on Twitter X at the number 12 THMAN Sports, THMAN Sports, which is at 12 Man. Our YouTube channel, it's going to be growing pretty soon. It's another 12 Man Sports. You want to check us out. We'll post some fun content, and we'll get you logged in so you can kind of post your videos on there as well. But man, let's get the first topic out the gate, and we're going to talk about the Chargers. The they're playing the season opener in Sao Paulo. This is where JQ is going to be going. He's going to be traveling there. We're going to follow Big Money JQ as he goes to Sao Paulo. After all the success of the Eagles and the Packers, the NFL decided to open it up. The opponent has not been announced just yet, but that's going to be the September the 5th game. And I'll open the floor to you guys, too. This is, obviously we got some international games planned, whether it's London, Germany, Spain, and Ireland is what is on the docket. So that's pretty exciting for the NFL.
Yeah, and expanding to Australia in 2026, right? So the NFL is definitely trying to expand the game globally. So they're definitely I think it's going to be to the point here in a few years where I think every team is probably going to play an international game. So there may be 16 international games a year where every team will be responsible for playing in at least one of those international games. I think that's the route that they're heading. They obviously haven't announced anything like that, but I really think that's the route that they're heading. So obviously you got Sao Paulo. The game was successful this past year with Green Bay and Philadelphia. They're going back to Sao Paulo this coming fall. Now the Chargers will be the home team in that game. So it'll be really interesting to see who they're playing against in that game. And also I'm curious to see who the Eagles are going to be opening up on that Thursday night opener, right? I could see it being the Cowboys. I could see it being the Lions. I could see it being the Commanders. And I think the Packers were one in consideration as well. So it looked like it'll be a conference game, or even the Rams, I think, was in consideration there too for the Eagles home opener this year. So it'll be interesting to see what that week one looks like. I mean, I know a lot of those games are going to be announced early, but I think the full schedule won't be out till like the second week of May.
Yeah, something like that. And listen, they're tripping. I've been to Australia. That's a long ass damn plane ride, man. I'm on the team. I want to go play in Australia. It's too long plane ride. You got to go to LA. Depending where you're coming from, this could be a 3 to 5 hour trip. And that's a solid 13 from LA to Sydney. Hell no. So if I was on one of them, I wouldn't want to go to Australia. Like Brazil, I get it, even though I know they talked about the gangs and they couldn't wear they damn team colors because the gang colors was green. So the NFL it's just
wow.
It's just wild. They say they just going where the money is. I think I read a report where Netflix is trying to buy the Sunday afternoon slate from CBS. So but it's good for our teams because the salary cap went up. So there it is.
Yeah.
There you go. And my Saints need it for sure.
My Bengals need all the people they trying to re-sign.
Yep, absolutely.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Speaking of the great segue too. Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, speaking of the Bengals, we're talking about NFL free agency. T. Higgins, and things look bleak between T. Higgins and the Bengals last year, but now it look like things are looking a little bit better. And it's good to see that the Bengals are trying to re-sign all of those players, right? T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson. It's hard to be successful when you lose good players.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that when they lost Jesse Bates a few years ago, right? Yep. And when you have good players, you got to try to find a way to keep them if you're going to be successful. And then you got to hit on those draft picks, right? You got to hit on those first and second round picks, and you got to find a way. One of the things I give the Rams credit for is they've been really hitting on those third, fourth, fifth, and sixth round draft picks here over the last few years. Even those years when they didn't have first and second round picks, right? So as an organization, you got to find a way to keep your good players and stay under the cap, but you got to find a way to hit on those mid-round picks because they're not going to be too expensive on your roster. And that's where your scouting department really comes in play to really hit on some of those mid-round picks to be successful.
And that's where the Bengals suck because they have the smallest scouting department in the NFL. They got 4 motherfuckers. 4.
Oh,
not F-O-U-R, F-O.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Is it Moses Malone 4 or is it 4?
4, F-O. You can look it up. People don't believe me. But you're right though. So my thing is that you got to take some of that salary cap money. You got to spend it on it, especially when your quarterback. He made it a point. Joe doesn't normally talk like that. He went on every media outlet available during that week of the Super Bowl and afterwards. They put the pressure on the front office. And you got to hire salary cap. You got to hire some more people, Mike Brown. Sell the team to somebody with some money. Jesus. 4 people? 4? That's like me. That's like the 3 of us and Gary being the scouting department.
We might do a good job, Jake.
You can't do no worse than that.
Some stuff.
Oh man,
that's hilarious. Hey, just to kind of piggyback on that, Rob, and that's a good example because that's what the Eagles did too, right? You know, again,
Yeah.
not that we're trying to jump on that bandwagon, but they drafted well defensive wise. Then they added a Saquon Barkley, and then boom, took him over the top. You know that they did an amazing job of obviously the draft picks and defensive side. You know, obviously had a solid offensive line, and just added the cherry on the top with signing Saquon. So
Shit, all he did
that's a
was
good
draft the
class
whole Georgia
organization.
defense and put him out there in Philadelphia Green and said, "Go at it."
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
It worked.
Exactly. That's why we're so
It works.
torn. Yeah. Go ahead, Rob. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, I mean, you got players that and they did a great analysis of that. You know, everyone we're not going to keep diving too much in that, but yeah, these players play together, they know each other, they have exactly, they just that camaraderie in the locker room, and that's how you build a squad. Keep that same type of chemistry on the team, together. So
Build culture.
you can't have nothing but luck up there. Yeah, keep that culture. Exactly.
Yep.
I don't know, like
Are you still there, Rob?
I'm still here. I think we
Okay.
lost Dre.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was me or not.
All right, to all our viewers out there, sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep, we lost our show host.
Yeah, we got to keep going. I mean, I'll let him jump back in here. What? I'm trying to figure out what is going on with the Rams and Matthew Stafford. I personally think it's his wife. I think they're tired of Kelly talking. Because he's 35, I get that, but he's still playing at a really, he's
at a
playing
real
at
high
level. Yeah, and you don't have anybody out there that who you gonna get in NFL in the free agency, or that's on your roster, like Bennett. I mean, I guess he's still there from Georgia. I think he's still there.
Well, I know he's been having some off the field concerns, things of that nature. So yeah. So I'm not sure about Bennett with the Rams, but I think and when it's all said and done, I think he's going to be with the Rams. I just don't see him going to another organization. He's 37 years old, but I think he's still playing at a high level, just like you said. He's throwing the football extremely well. I mean, he still throws it with a zip. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's not the most mobile quarterback for sure, but he still has it between the ears, and he still has the arm talent to really get the football out there, right? Maybe he's upset about the Cooper Kupp situation, right? We don't know what that looks like for them too, right? Maybe he wants to keep his players, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Obviously, the Rams think Cooper Kupp had a slight decline this past year, and he did. But he's still probably top 20, top 30 wide receiver, in my opinion. He may not be a top 5 or top 10 anymore, but I think he still can be a guy that can help them win. But obviously, with that contract situation, they don't think he's playing up to that contract anymore, right? So,
I mean, damn, did they at least go talk to him and say, "Hey, man, you want to think about restructuring it? How we can redo this because you had a dip?" And they just, but they were already on it last year at the trade deadline. They were talking about moving him and didn't do it now, just doing it now. And I'm like, yeah, I mean that's his homeboy. It's just that if you got a quarterback, I watch him like he don't take massive hits to me. That being Matthew Stafford, because like you said, he's so smart. He's got a cannon. And he was never a mobile quarterback. I mean, he can move around when he needs to, but he wants to sit back there and just sling it to his weapons. And to your point, the Rams have also done a good job in drafting. So if you're feeling around him, why would you? I don't know. It just seems in this draft, in this free agency crop, to decide to have that decision now when he's making what 40? No, was it 30 million? Like between 30 and 40, but now he's well behind the 60 million mark. But he's playing. Y'all got to be able to meet in the middle, especially if you get rid of the Cup, right? Like I don't know. That's to me, that's wild. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. And then just saying, that piece, Matt is
and this is the thing with Matthew Stafford, right? He's 37 years old. He's probably looking at, hey, I probably got a good 3 maybe years left to play. This is my last opportunity to cash in on a big contract, right? So I think that's the start process here. He said, let me cash in on some money here. Let me cash in on my last opportunity to get a big payday and be one of those top paid quarterbacks in the league, right? And look, maybe that's why the Rams are parting ways with Cooper Kupp, right? They're trying to free up some money so they can have some opportunities so they can keep Matthew Stafford, right?
The salary
So
cap is
maybe that's
trying
a
to jump
thought
like
process.
22 million though. Like it's hard to say that when you on the same day they come out there and say that. Like
And that's
to
why
me,
you wait before you make those decisions, right? Maybe the Rams jumped the gun there, right? And look, the salary cap has been going up in the NFL every year, and
every
especially
year.
the last 2 years, there's been a huge jump these last couple of years. So maybe the Rams jumped the gun there with making the decision we're going to part ways with Cooper Kupp. They probably should have waited to see what the cap was going to look like.
Come on, Rob. All them dudes in that room was billionaires. They paying Roger Goodell that money. They knew that salary cap was going up weeks before we knew it. They just announced that news to us today. Them dudes knew. So I don't know if I can give them that one. You know they knew. You know they knew.
That's a good point.
They decided to tell us today, but they probably know for like 3 weeks to a month.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we back, Dre. Go ahead. We were just talking about Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
Keep it going, guys. Nah, I was trying to talk about the running back. Nah, but running back.
Go to it. Go ahead, Rob.
No.
Oh,
Did you guys hear all that before I got cut off? Or
no, we just jumped to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have our point guard, so we just winged it.
That was one of the ones I wanted to talk about because I'm a quarterback person. I'm just like you're talking about getting rid of a quarterback still with good years left. If the Jets can go after Aaron Rodgers at 40, why would the Rams want to give up on Stafford at 37 the way he's playing? So that's why I just went to that one. So
no, you did perfect. Thank you for that. That's good. I'm glad everything locked in. Rob, I was just saying really quickly, guys, that just about the. It's a pretty deep draft, I would say, with running backs, and it's going to be tough for running backs in free agency right now. I think I listed the top 5 before I got cut off. Did you guys hear any of that or no?
No, you started to talk
the top 5 running backs.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, so I'm just saying, like the top 5 in free agency, I've got Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and Nick Chubb, and each of them have different challenges if you're trying to sign them. And there's no Saquon or anything like that in this free agency. But is that going to be a challenge? Because I think that it's a deep draft for running back. So
that's why it's a challenge.
That's a situation where if you're a team, they may have to wait. Even though the salary cap, that was a great point in that it did jump to $22 million. But is there a team that's going to take a chance? Is the question, Rob and JQ. I'm not leaving you by yourself, but talk about that. Yeah, go ahead.
My thing is simple. It's so deep in the draft for running back. Unless you just keep knocking it down in the draft and you fail to get one, you might go to that. But I'm not going to go chase Rico Dowdle as soon as it goes to 1201. When free agency is. I'm just saying you got a lot of good running backs in this draft, and you can get one in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round and have him on a rookie deal. Rico to me is not great. Aaron Jones gets nicked up a lot. Nick Chubb is coming off a serious injury. So is JK. Has had multiple injuries. I love him. He's a Buckeye, but he's
staying healthy is a problem. Yeah.
So Rico Dowdle is the one guy that's young that I think teams are definitely going to look at. Aaron Jones, as you mentioned, he's a guy that's kind of getting up there in age a little bit. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams knocking on his door. But Rico Dowdle, I think, will be a guy out of everyone you just mentioned, Dre. I think will have some interest. And like JQ pointed out, I don't think there's going to be a lot of interest on Nick Chubb. I mean, he's got a lot of wear and tear with those injuries he's had. But Rico Dowdle's a guy that really came on strong at the end of the year, running the rock, catching the ball out of the backfield. He improved picking up blitzes as well from a blocking perspective as well. So from an all-around standpoint, he'll be a guy I'll be shocked to see the Cowboys let go. I don't think he's the bell cow. I think you still need a running back with them. Maybe have a 1-2 punch at the running back. But I think he's definitely a guy that could be a weapon for somebody, especially what he displayed at the end of the year. Now, from a draft standpoint, I mean, Ashton Genty is definitely the guy. He's the number 1 running back in this draft. Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State is the guy I have number 2. And I like his versatility as well, right, as far as running and catching the ball out of the backfield. A guy who I'm becoming even more and more impressed with is Caleb Johnson, the running back from Iowa. I think So what?
He's fast.
Yeah. Yep. He's fast, and he breaks tackle. He's got great breaking tackling ability. Right. The one thing he has not shown is is catching the ball out of the backfield ability. But I think with the right team, I don't think he was with the right team at Iowa to really showcase that. But I think, when we get to the combines and things of that nature and pro days, those are probably some things that he'll be able to show. So I have him at the number 3 position right now.
What?
I got Travion Henderson at number 4. And number 5, I got Omarion Hampton,
That's
running
the guy I
back
like.
from North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah. So I have him at, and he's a bell cow. He's a guy that you can probably get the ball to 25, 30 times a game. He's going to have to show that he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He showed that a little bit when he had Drake May at the quarterback position. So that's something he's going to have to really prove on his pro days and combine workouts as well. But I got Omarion Hampton at the number 5 position right now.
Listen, that's all well and good. You know I feel about my bucket running backs. But, man, you best try to let me get Cam Scotterbull in the 4th round. And watch out. That dude ain't going to measure great, but he plays hard nose.
He runs mad, angry. He runs like Marshawn Lynch.
He's definitely a sleeper. I mean,
yeah,
you said it, JQ. He's not gonna be the great in the times, but man, his breaking tackle ability, man, you can't measure that, and you can't measure his heart, right? So I mean, he's a football player, bottom line. And look, somebody's going to get lucky to get him in the 3rd or 4th round for sure. I'm going to the top of the 4th right now. But I wouldn't be surprised a team take a chance on him in the 3rd round for sure. I mean, he's a football player. He totally, almost single-handedly turning that Arizona State program around, right? And look, and now, man, they're getting big-time recruits to that program now. I know you got to give Dillingham a lot of credit for that, but Arizona State's been recruiting well. Last year they recruited well. This year they're recruiting even better. And I'm sure Scatterboo had a lot to do with that.
You know, it also has a lot to do with that. Tempe.
Here it is. Not Iowa. Hey, great point. There seems like there's some squads that fit. Like he seems like he's like a Raven or like a Steelers back. You know, like just.
Hey, don't say that shit out loud. What's wrong with you?
For our first-time viewers, you know, JQ is a Bengals fan, so he's not going to like anything Steelers or Ravens. So
no. Well, you know, he going to the Ravens with Henry there now. But with Najee Harris being a free agent, that would concern me. Scotterbull landing with the Steelers.
I'm just saying that, you know, Henry's not, obviously he's not going to be playing, you know, for like 5 more years or anything like that, obviously. But just, you know, you got to get somebody.
Yeah, but if you get your running backs, especially, you don't plan to use them the hell out of them on their rookie deal, you're not going to draft them to save them. You draft them to go out there and run them into the ground, let them hit free agency, and then get you another one.
Fair.
So
fair. Yep. Rob, do the mock draft real quick, if you will, man.
Yeah, pulling it up here as we speak. I'm just going to go over a couple of the first. I actually did a 4-round mock, so I'll post that to Talking Sports with the 12th Man Facebook page. But I'll just cover the first and the second rounds of what I've laid post. So Tennessee, I got him taking Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami. Got him back in the number 1 spot. I got Cleveland taking Abdul Carter. Obviously, if they trade Myles Garrett, you're going to have to get another edge rusher there. So I got Abdul Carter going number 2. Got Travis Hunter, two-way player, going to the Giants. I got the Raiders trading up to number 4 to draft Shadur Sanders. So there's a couple of mocks. I've had the Raiders trading up to 4, swapping picks with the Patriots to the number 4 spot. I got Jacksonville taking Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. I got New England trading down to 6. Got them taking Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan. Got the Jets taking Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. Carolina, Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State. Don't want to see him in the division. I got the Saints. All indications that the Saints are going to be changing to a 3-4 defense under Kellen Moore. So Jalen Walker will fit that as an edge rusher in a 3-4 defense with his size. So I got him going to the Saints at number 9. And number 10, I got Tatteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona, giving the Bears some help. You know, obviously, Keenan Allen is not going to be there much longer with the Bears. They're going to try to do everything they can to help Caleb out. I got the Falcons take a Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State. Obviously, they got to replace the tight end who hasn't shown up yet all these years for the Falcons. So they got to replace him. I got the Bengals taking Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas, right? versatile corner who can play on the outside and in the slot to help that Bengals defense out. Then in the second round, I got the Saints taking Tyler Show, quarterback from Louisville, in the second round. He's a guy that's got a big time arm. He's got the height. He's about 6'5", really climbing up some draft boards. So I got the Saints taking the QB in the second round. And the Falcons, one of the Gray Zabel, offensive lineman from North Dakota State, in the second round. He can play guard or tackle. He may not even be here. He's on the rise. He may even move up into the first round in this draft. And then the Bengals, I got him taking Amari and Hampton, running back, North Carolina, in the second round to give them some depth at the running back position, to take some of that weight off of Chase Brown. Not sure if Zach Moss is going to be back with the Bengals this year. Yeah.
Not at all. Man, listen, you're talking to two people whose defense is ranked in the bottom 5. If they don't take, well, we have to take a cornerback. We got to get somebody in the trenches. And if you haven't watched, listen, if you watch what Philadelphia has done, I'm tired of talking about them, but even when Andy Reid was there, and they still have the same philosophy, we're gonna go get a mauling offensive line and a very physical defensive line, and we may trade or try to get our offensive players later or through free agency. But when we draft this team, we drafting up front on both sides. We just gonna kick your ass on both sides of the ball up front. I love it. That's what I was like. I really would love some good interior alignment. But they also saw that. I don't know if you saw that piece about Tennessee's defensive end. He's coming off of people's boards because they say he's just an idiot.
James Pierce, he's definitely moving down the board a little bit, and he's a tremendous athlete. There's no question about his talent, right? I mean, so somebody's going to take a chance on him. You best believe that.
The Bengals, because that's what we do.
Now he's got to bulk up though. He's got to get a little bit stronger, right? But there's no question about his edge rush ability. I think he definitely could be a good outside linebacker in the 3-4 defense, right? Even at his current size, I think he could definitely have an impact there. Even at his current size. Let's see. What do I have the third round? So I do have the Bengals taking Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle from Florida State, in the third round.
Okay.
He'll be a guy that can definitely rotate in and out of that defensive front as well. I got the Saints taking Isaiah Bond, wide receiver from Texas, in the third round. And also Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle from Tennessee. I have the Saints drafting in the third round as well. In the fourth round, got the Bengals taking wide receiver Deion Burks. Obviously, if they re-sign T. Higgins, I don't think that's going to happen. But obviously everything is still in play right now. But in the fourth round, I have Atlanta taking Lander Barton, linebacker from Utah. I think he's a guy that can contribute right away and be a starter in this league. Almost probably right away as rookie, if not rookie season, his second year in the league.
There you go, Dre.
I mean, I don't know if I'm being punked or something, man. If we take a tight end, there will be chaos and anarchy in the streets of Atlanta.
Yeah, but Tyler Warren is who you thought you were getting in Kyle Pitts. Tyler Warren is a beast.
He is a great tight end. I am not saying that I don't like Ty Warren, excuse me. I don't even look at what the hell that is, like
Andre, you sound like you got a few drinks tonight.
I do. No, trade back.
It's that connection that's messing me up.
It is the connection probably. That's on me. But trade back, get some extra picks. And Rob, and obviously I appreciate you. I'm not trying to say
that's not easy.
But it's just like, I know it's not easy. There's a situation where I think Denver really loves Ty Warren too. That's a situation they love him at tight end. That's something that we're thinking about too. So that's an opportunity for them. But again, if you are saying at 15, I think you got to get you already had Jalen Walker going to the Saints. You had going early, excuse me, and then you had Will Johnson going early too. So those are the two that we were kind of thinking that would be around. If he dropped, that's a no-brainer. But again, I'm not totally hating on him as a player, but Lord have mercy, if we knock it out in free agency, man, that would be a welcome pick. That's what we'll go from there. If we were able to somehow knock out our needs in free agency, we'd be okay. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the offensive line picks too, because we need to get younger. Caleb McGarry's getting younger. Caleb, and then obviously same thing with Jake Matthews. Yeah, so we got to figure that out too for sure. But we got to get linebacker. We got to get quarterback. We need a safety. There's so much things happening.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's some potential guys on the board there. You got Walter Nolan. I got him going 16, Arizona.
Yeah.
You got Nick Sourton, edge rusher, Texas A&M, got him going 18. You got Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia. I got him going 20 to Denver. Right now, I got James Pierce going to Pittsburgh at 21. We'll see how that plays out. Pittsburgh still plays that 3-4 defense. Could be a good fit there as well. I got Mikael Williams going 11, San Fran, so he'll be off the board if this mock holds. And so, I mean, I think, we talked about this before. The thing you got to be careful with is reaching for a need in the draft. That's how teams get in trouble. And obviously, if your top need falls in place, then hey, that's great, right? I mean, that's the beauty of it all, right? And you look at the Bengals there. Like I said, they got corner. You got Nick Sourton. He'll be in play at 18. You got Tyler Booker if you want to go offensive line. I got him going 19 to Tampa. And Tampa is one of those teams you talked about, Philadelphia, but quietly they're one of those teams that really has invested in their offensive and defensive line. It seems like every year their first round pick is either offensive lineman or defensive lineman, right? And that's one of the reasons why they seem like they keep. I mean, they're not a great team, but they've been a competitive team here for the last 4 to 5 years, and they keep winning the NFC South, right? But they invest in the trenches. They've done a really good job. Tristan Wirfs, one of the best offensive linemen in the league. They went out last year and got Graham Barton, another really good player, maybe already as a rookie last year, was one of the better centers in the league as well, right? So they've been a really good team investing in their offensive and defensive line too.
Yep. I know you don't care about this stat, but again, we have not, as the Falcons, have not invested in our defensive line. The last defensive line we took was actually Tack McKinley. That did not go good. Even before then, we had Jamal Anderson was a bust. Patrick Kearney back in the day. These are the last time we've actually invested in our defensive line.
Andre Bruce.
Oh, my God. That was the most terrible number 1 pick ever. Man, you got to bring me back to that one, too. That was terrible, too. That was one.
Oh, man. I probably shouldn't have brought that name up. That might drive you to drink tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, y'all sauce this shit.
Rob is picking on me tonight. It's been a good night. I'm even wearing a Yankees hat. Hey, I wanted to ask when we just talked off. What did you think about the All-Star game format? Me and JQ talked about it briefly. We were kind of saying, and I'm not going to put words in JQ's mouth. I missed the whole East-West kind of. Again. That traditional. I know we're like, oh, I'm an old guy, but just I would love to see, hey, a traditional West versus East, and just kind of see. And I know they're gonna make some, run around and during the game, but then the fourth quarter gets serious. But just that's what you want to see, not like this abbreviated. And I like the Rising Stars, but we want that traditional. That's what I would appreciate.
Yeah, and look, I would say most of my life, my favorite All-Star game was the NBA All-Star game over all of them. But if I had to say which All-Star game is the best now, it's Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
They have the best All-Star game. The Pro Bowl is just trash. I don't even tune into that. And but I think Major League Baseball is the one that has it right now, right? They're the one. You're getting competitive baseball. There's minimal risk of players getting hurt. In the Major League Baseball All-Star game, right? And the reason why guys don't want to play hard in the Pro Bowl and the guys don't want to play hard in the NBA All-Star game, they have fear of getting hurt, right? And so Major League Baseball is definitely right now, in my opinion, the best All-Star game in sports right now, for sure. And the NBA's got to figure out what they want to do with that, right? I mean, was it last year, the year before that, somebody scored over 200 points?
Yeah, it was stupid.
Just no defense, just running up and down the court and scoring at will.
Listen, them dudes don't want to go out there and get embarrassed and play hard because they've been out there kicking it all weekend. It's really what it comes down to. And also, you're right, but baseball has put on the line that, hey, if you do East versus West, they do AL versus NL, the winner gets home field advantage in the World Series. So if you put that for the people that are on good teams that have thoughts of making the NBA Finals, if you make that a stipulation, does that change things? Nobody's brought that up as being a thing. So it could be part of the resolution of going back to East versus West and then putting the home field advantage of the NBA Finals on the line. But you're right. They go out there, they play for real in the baseball.
Yeah.
I get the NFL. The NFL, you don't have to be looking. Somebody roll up on you, you're done. That's not going to necessarily happen like that in the NBA game. So I understand the NFL one. I do for sure. With the NBA, they just want to be named to the All-Star team, but they don't want to really play.
Yep. No, agreed. I think that's a good point, JQ. I think you make that competitive. That's something NBA gonna have to really strongly consider that, right? Do you give the East or West winner home field advantage in the NBA Finals, right? I mean, I think home field matters more in the NBA than it does in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. Yeah. Right? I think home field advantage in basketball is, if you look at the percentages, that's a huge factor in home field advantage. So I think that would drive a lot when it comes to the NBA for sure.
I
right?
do too. I don't think the players would agree to it though.
No.
Nope.
I mean, you look at it, right? I mean, if you got two teams that are really close, I mean, let's just say the Boston Celtics and Oklahoma City makes it to the NBA Finals this year. I mean, you can make a case that whoever has home field in that series will win the title, right? In baseball, you can say the two best teams going into the Dodgers. Let's just say it's the Dodgers and the Yankees again, right? If the Yankees have home field advantage, I think Dodgers still win that series. I think home field means more in basketball and football than it does in baseball, right?
Especially you got some racist ass Boston fans in there going crazy. You get 4 games versus 3, it makes a difference. Don't at me, Boston. You know how y'all are. Listen, you know how y'all are. The players I've talked about what y'all call them when y'all be at the games. So it ain't all of y'all, but it's enough of y'all that got money, disposable income to go to the games and act the fool. So yes, I agree with you. It makes a difference 100% more in the NBA than it does in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
JQ still having some PTSD from that Notre Dame game, from the championship game.
Listen, and you know who one of their favorite teams is up there, Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh my God. The Catholics strike again. Oh man. Hey, again, we appreciate everyone, joining us for this really, really abbreviated, version of Talking Sports 12, man. Sorry about my little reconnection thing. It's the night, and I've been drinking. No, not at all. No, I was gonna say, Rob, please. If we don't, I know free agency comes first, but we'll let you do the draft. Hope you had a good time.
Mine is only a mock draft, so it's not the real thing.
I know. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I know. Go ahead.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, follow us on Talking Sports with the 12th Man to see when we're going to be on again live for you all right? We want to hear from y'all from the East to the West. Philadelphia, we still want to hear from y'all as well. Just won the Super Bowl. Joel Embiid can't stay healthy. What are the Phillies going to look like this year? Still one of the favorites in the National League. We want to hear from y'all in the great city of Philadelphia. And, of course, Chicago, right? White Sox. Are y'all still going to be the worst team in baseball this year? Are y'all going to win 40 games instead of 30? Yeah, we want to hear from y'all in Chicago from the Midwest as pitchers and catching are back to work in spring training. Then, of course, we got to go to the Mountain Time Zone. Hey, New Mexico playing well in the Mountain West, right? At the Pit. Want to hear from y'all in Albuquerque, JQ's favorite city. The Denver Nuggets, are y'all going back to the finals? Want to hear from y'all in the Mountain Time Zone as well. And then, hey, the Pacific Time Zone, the Lakers. Number 5 seed in the West right now. Y'all going to make a run? I don't think so. JQ, what do you see?
Stop that hate.
Huh?
Will you stop that hate?
And then, of course, we can't end the show without a shout out to Fresno, the Jackson, Mississippi of California, right? So we want to hear from y'all in Fresno on next week's show. Make sure you tune in. All right, everyone. Peace out.
Man, yes, sir. Listen, I just want to touch on it real quick. The Big Ten and the SEC, boy, are wild. You just have to call it the Big Ten and the SEC Invitational at this point. Because damn, 4 guaranteed spots. They're gonna have play-in games for those 4 players, those spots. So the 2 teams that go to the championship game get 2 of the 4, and then they're gonna have 2 play-in games for the other 2 spots. I said, come on, Big Ten and the SEC. they are wild.
Now, the one thing I do agree with them though is reseeding the 12 teams properly. Right.
Correct.
Now I'm all for that. I think that's the right thing to do. Right. I mean, this year you had Boise State number 3, and we had Arizona State was very competitive at the 4th seed. So I mean, but I still think they need to reseed those 12 teams properly.
No, 100%. I just read that and I saw it in there. I just wanted to mention it since it came out today. I said, damn, that's a power play for your ass. Shout out to the Big Ten.
SEC's got a lot of depth, but hey, the last 2 years, Big Ten won the national championship, right? Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to wonder, as the Big Ten, I don't know if they've surpassed the SEC from a depth perspective, but has they passed the SEC from the top heavy perspective? Right now, I think the SEC is going to be deep next year. Right. I think Texas is going to be good. I think Georgia's going to be good. I think LSU is going to be good. I think Tennessee is going to be good. I mean, you can make a case for maybe even a few other teams, Ole Miss, etc. But I think the SEC is going to be really deep next year.
Y'all stop that shit. It's like the other day a couple weeks ago talking about NC State. Y'all don't stop talking about Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to be 9-3, like they always are, and then that's what it's going to be. So let's stop that. It's going to be
South Carolina. That's what I was thinking of. Their team.
South Carolina is my sleeper because if they had gotten the tournament this year, that would have been a whole problem. So I'll give you South Carolina, but I'm not going to give you Ole Miss, especially without Dart. They're going to be 9-3 like they always are.
We shall see.
You sound like the water boy. That's what
I don't like Ole Miss. Y'all know what I call them.
Yes, I do.
Old Piss, huh?
And everybody in Louisiana calls them Old Piss.
Bye, y'all. Talk to y'all next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Love y'all.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Rob.